Seriously? That's what we doing? You mean to tell me it's like that? Zito? Uh-oh. Get over there.
You got to chill.
Say that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tripping for real, for real. I mean, just acting up all the way. Just out here down bad. Out here showing up. Now, why would I do a thing like that? Talk to me, chat. Tell me what the business is. Nah, that's not where I go get that. I go get that right there. Yeah, right there, right there. There we go. Now we put that thing up there. All I need to know is where my people at. Where my people at. Because we in here. We in here like last year, you know? Oof. And boy, what's popping people? We is jumping off in this thing. Y'all know how we do. We let the people entree-vous. You know what I'm saying? We let the people entree-vous. Get your face in the place. But you know how we get down. And come on in. Come on in, my friend. Figure deal me. Mouse in the house. Y'all know what to do when y'all come in this place. Make sure you introduce yourself. Don't matter if you show your face. You speak to people when you walk in their house. And if they got company, you gotta speak. You know? That's just proper etiquette. Even though, you know, brother be like, I know there was a last minute session. I usually announce them way before I do them, hours before we do this, or even days. But you know, this was one of them sessions, and we just had to get it in. You figure, deal me? So you know, this was an impromptu. Well, it ain't really no impromptu because we usually do this every day. But you know, I had to keep y'all popping. Y'all know how we get down. Runner Howard is in the chat. The beautiful KJ, you got your lunch and you ready to go. That's what I'm talking about. It's a lady after my own heart. You know what I'm saying? Skull is in the building. And of course, Robert, as always, is in the building. Robert is in Denver. If y'all don't know, Robert is a true Colorado Buff fan. Oh, Joe T, what's good? Vegas is in the house. My favorite place to play. It's been a minute since I done touched down in Vegas. You know, after the COVID thing, her brother just stayed away because they was tripping out there. But I might have to make my return. And it's usually on my birthday, which is toward the end of the year, and a couple of times during the summer. But this year, I might have to be in Vegas on my birthday. which is in the month of December. If y'all didn't know, I am a Christmas baby. I'm not that close to Christmas, but I am a Christmas baby. And just like everybody else born in the month of December, I need my birthday presents and my Christmas presents on separate days. I need my birthday presents on the day I was born, and I need my Christmas presents on Christmas. Unless you want all yours at one time, I don't want all mine at one time. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Music is in the building. Colorado is 6.5 or 2.5. I already took the over on the spread. I took a dead drop at 5.5. Because if you know what Prime working with in Colorado, there is no way you let that go. If you seen that wide receiver room they got in Colorado, buddy, ain't no way. 2 dynamic quarterbacks. That O-line is ferocious this year. Oh, no. It is going to be bananas. But y'all know how we do. And y'all know what we do. So before we get this show started, you know what we do first. We take the time out to shout out you, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, do yourself a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please do not forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when we go live or when these videos drop. And also, don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. But when you drop in your comments in the comment section, make sure if you see a "See You Auntie" anywhere in the place, make sure you say what's up. Because we don't do no show without shouting out the "See You Aunties." The ladies bring that heat. And it is always a pleasure to have them in my comment section or in my chat when I am live. And I promise you, they are in here. The "See You Aunties," they are my ladies. And you better not even get wrong with them, because we'll get you together on this side. You know what I'm saying? So y'all will see them in the chat. Holler at them. You know what I'm talking about? Because they most definitely in there. And they pretty too. But it is what it is. And as we go on about our business, I wasn't even going to do this show today. And then a video crossed my path. And then I was like, okay, I might as well do this one live. Because I was just going to be me. Y'all know how I do. I was just going to make a video and go about my merry way. But the haters, I even posted the live and then changed the title. Because we about that work around here. We got to get these haters in check. And it's not the point that they hate us. We don't mind the haters. We like all the haters to come through and do what they do. We're not mad at them. But it's the people that report on these activities, on these sports. We say, Lord, a call-in number would be nice. I don't know. We might work on that. As everybody is coming in the building, I like to speak to my regulars. SJM, the hate and the resentment you harbor towards Shedeur will hurt you more in the end. That is true. Lord said a call-in number would be nice. Mr. Texas, Mr. Vasquez is in the building. I'm back. The Brown staff bringing up Shedeur not reading the whiteboard properly. This is getting out of hand. Now they praying for a Pickett return. Pickett is not coming back. Pickett is done for about another 3 weeks. Selmo Fizzard is in the building. What up, Fud? What up, dog? Shout out to those brown bombshells out here today. They out there. Darnell Hopkins is in the building. Rob Parker is soft. Rob Parker is a hater, dog. Rob Parker is a true hater. But before we get to Rob Parker, we have to talk about these numbers that Shadeur Sanders put up on Friday, which was 2,237,000 viewers and 71,205 in attendance, and that stadium only holds 75,000. The show was broadcast on the NFL Network. It was also broadcast on WEW in Cleveland. So, we're talking about Shedeur putting up 2.2 million viewers on a preseason game versus the Carolina Panthers, where people do not watch preseason games. I told y'all the other day, it's hard to get 500K people on a preseason game unless it's the third week of the season. We talking about a preseason opener. Nobody else is playing but this team. So, Shadeur Sanders, once again, has done what nobody else has done. Shedeur Sanders' rookie debut was the most watched preseason game in the last 10 plus years. As once again, as we say, hey, we just putting in that work, dog. And where he shows up, the people show up. And it's just like I told y'all in my video, what we talked about yesterday in that live. This is all the NFL's fault. They brought this on themselves. They created this monster. He was already a beast without their help. But they turned him into a full-fledged monster. And you can't control the monster. And we ain't talking about Frankenstein. Shedeur has put in his work. But now, for the main reason you are here, we are here to smush Rob Parker in the face because he don't know what he be talking about. So we gonna jump on this Rob Parker action because he has completely lost his mind. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Picks.
130, right. It was good.
Didn't move up the depth chart. He was fourth. So we thought, hey, this is a big week for Shedeur. This is going to be his
start
chance,
again, right?
Yep, to separate himself from the pack a little bit. He played good on Saturday. Maybe he'll play good again this weekend. And unfortunately, he goes down on Wednesday with an oblique injury. He's going to get an MRI here the next day or two. And Kevin Stefanski, according to multiple reports, has already suggested that not only will Shedeur not start this upcoming preseason game, there's a good chance, it's very highly unlikely that he even plays.
Bad information, people. He's unlikely to start. But if y'all know like we know, don't count that man out. Shedeur is depending on the gravity of that oblique. If it's not a hard strain, and I don't think that it is bad as they think it is, reason being, because he was doing this today. If his oblique is bad, he don't do that. He doesn't throw the ball with that much velocity in that short of a span. So trust me, when I tell you, Shadeur Sanders,
You got to chill.
you might see him Saturday night. It's not far-fetched at all. And Alex, Mr. Music, that prime equity clause is not factual. It is a made up. It is a made up idea that my buddy Money Man already know, came up with on his own. And if the prime equity was a fact, I promise you, those numbers that are being used would not be. They are screaming that that prime equity clause would grant Shedeur $14 million off of a $250 million jersey sales is stupid. The NFL would love for you to do those numbers and for you to get that small amount of money. Okay? I'm just trying to get you to understand that that clause is not factual. It is a made-up clause. It might become true one day, but if it does, the numbers would be ridiculous. For them to sell $250 million in jersey sales, and for him to only get $14 million is something like 4%. Nobody makes a deal like that. $14 million sounds like a lot of money, but off of $250 million that the NFL would make, those are pennies. They would gladly give you $14 million if you were making them $250 million. That's a $234 million profit. $236 million profit. Who wouldn't want to do that? So what I'm saying, those people that are making those videos, none of them know what they're talking about. That is a idea that Money Man had that is not factual, that is not in his contract. So y'all please stop talking about the prime equity deal. Okay? I'm just saying. It's not real, and it is what it is. Okay, now back to where we was. I just had to straighten that out so he can get an understanding. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just need to clarify that. I made a video on that a few weeks ago. I think I need to make another one and run it back, because I seen another channel make a video on that, and it's a channel that I follow, and it's a channel that I respect. And this is the reason I'm talking about these idiots right now, because when people start putting stuff out there, a lot of people just talking for clicks and all that, but it's not factual. And then this is how all this confusion starts. This is why a lot of people are mad about a situation they know nothing about, because they're getting so much different information and it's not factual, and people don't get a clear understanding of what's going on. This is why the United States is so screwed up right now. But we're not going to do politics, because you want to do politics, go follow my TikTok. That's where you'll get that from me. We go kind of hard over there. So if you don't like it, don't come over there. But let's get back to the two dummies.
And with that news, I'm even more convinced than I was before that he won't make the team and he'll get cut.
And saying that, what I'm saying is, even we know who in the Cleveland media has agendas. So just be mindful of what you read and what you understand. Just like today. This is Mary Kay Cabot's tweet. Browns, Shadeur Sanders will be put down for a little bit. Why did you use the words put down? He is not a dog. Browns, Shedeur Sanders will be put down for a little bit. With his oblique strain, Kevin Stefanski says Dylan Gabriel will start versus the Eagles. That is Mary Kay Cabot. And y'all know how we feel about Mary Kay Cabot. Daniel Fusi, right behind him. Kevin Stefanski, still not yet ready to name Dylan Gabriel as the starter for Saturday's preseason game. Wants to see how he and his hamstring gets through today's practice. Shadeur Sanders remains unlikely to play. Kenny Pickett's hamstring remains limited, and Joe Flacco won't play. The only other healthy quarterback on the roster is Tyler Snoop Huntley. That's why I tell you, check your source. Always check your source before you start putting information out there. Or check your source's information, because some of them have an agenda. Just like Mary Kay Cabot with that tweet. She tweeted out Dylan Gabriel's going to start. Ofusi tweeted out Kevin Stefanski said he hadn't made up his mind on the starter yet. So which one did he do? See what I'm saying? We all know Mary Kay loves Dylan. They want Dylan to start. They want Dylan to be the man. So even though she's supposed to be an objective reporter, she still has an agenda. You know what I'm saying? But let's go back to the two idiots.
Hurts him more than anybody. Like the other guys were hurt. I really do. Because when you're fourth string and now we're not going to see you, you know what I mean, this week coming up, and you didn't move up. You did pretty well, right? You used the word impressive. I say he was very good. And it wasn't like, oh my God, we didn't know. Or what are we doing? Yes, he should be here. He should be doing this. Let's move him up. He's definitely made the team. No, he didn't make the team off that game. He didn't move up the depth chart from that game. And I'm looking at just the way that the NFL does its business, which is normally fourth string quarterbacks don't make the roster. It has nothing to do with Shedeur. I would ask anybody, give me the fourth string quarter. And didn't they move up for Dylan, right? The third pick? Like they wanted him.
See what I'm saying? Bad information. They did not move up for Dylan. They moved up for Shedeur. They gave up 2 6th-round picks for Shedeur. But see, when you get your information from people who don't know, this is the problem. When people are just talking, mind you, Rob Parker does not like Shedeur. Rob Parker does not like Deion. Simply because Deion poured that water on that reporter in Atlanta for talking that crap about his mama. Well, he wasn't talking that crap about his mama, but his mama asked Deion, you gonna let him talk about you like that? So Deion had to get some. And he went and got some. Because when mama say what you gonna do, that means you gotta go do something. Rob Parker is a baseball guy. He is not a football guy. Rob Parker is old. Rob Parker likes to stir the pot. Rob Parker likes to find stuff to complain about, like he's 95. But the point here is the information that they're putting out is just wrong. And do you know how many people listen to Fox Radio? A lot. I don't know why, but they do. And that's the problem. When you get your information from bad sources, your information is wrong. And then when you get with somebody who is knowledgeable, and then you want to fight the good fight, And then the first thing y'all gonna do is say, well, Google it then. And then boom. There's your answer. You wrong. Then you mad at Rob Parker. You should be mad at yourself for listening to Rob Parker. Stop doing that. Y'all make sure y'all shout out all the beautiful see you aunties in the building. Those are my ladies. I'm telling y'all play with one of them aunties, man. I'm gonna have to come see you. I'm gonna have to get me some see you auntie shirts made. Cause they're my peoples.
So I'm just asking myself, how does this figure in? How does this work? I know I'm the lone wolf out here. Everybody's got Shedeur starting by week 3. Rob G is going to be selling the most jerseys in the NFL, whatever you want to talk about. Tim Tebow sold a lot of jerseys too. Guess what? Couldn't play. Rob G, he couldn't play. Did he not have ridiculous buzz?
He had beyond ridiculous buzz.
Ridiculous buzz. So
see, somebody that don't watch football, if you compare Shadeur Sanders to Tim Tebow, what we doing? What we doing? Really? If you think Shedeur Sanders is comparable to Tim Tebow, you don't know ball. You don't even watch football. At this point, you have no credibility. Yes, Tim Tebow was popular. He was popular. But that's all he was. And he won a few football games. He even won a playoff game. But Tim Tebow wasn't no quarterback, and everybody knew it. There is no comparison. You can't even put them two in the same. Nowhere. Because see, everybody thinks because Shedeur got all this fanfare and all this love and this following, and now he's just being reported on at every clip. You can't go nowhere. You can't tune into a sports station without hearing Shedeur Sanders. Somebody's going to say it. And that's the problem. Everybody want to talk about it, but everybody's saying everything backwards and wrong. I don't like listening to Rob, but Chris Broussard was coming on. I saw Chris Broussard's name, which means there was going to be some straightening, or at least some correction, or at least some proper information being passed out. Because Rob don't know what the hell he's talking about. But Fox keep putting him on the airway, keep letting him talk about stupid stuff. It's baseball season, yeah. So he gonna be that time. He that boy. Let him talk about baseball. Rob G played football. He should know better. Let's go.
Old jerseys. Everybody was Tim Tebow mania. There's got to be is there a 30 for 30 yet? I mean, seriously. During that time, it was outrageous.
Yeah, Rob, again, this has got to be a first for the Odd Couple. I agree with you 1,000%. This situation has been percolating now for a few weeks. The Cleveland Browns are telling you, without telling you,
yes,
that Shedeur Sanders is not in the picture. He is not being seriously considered to be a active roster NFL quarterback for them. Much has been made leading into last week about Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel not playing in the preseason game because they had hamstring. Both of them had surprise. I don't know how both of them get hamstring injuries, but they both get hamstring injuries.
And now Shedeur has an oblique.
And now he's got an oblique. The only one who actually is healthy is 87-year-old Joe Flacco, which
they're not going to put out there until the season starts.
Make that make sense. But here's the thing. Gabriel and Pickett both sat out last weekend's game. What they didn't do, however, was sit out practice. So that tells you right there We value you too much to risk running you out there in a meaningless preseason.
100.
Bad information, people. Just bad information. I'm gonna let them continue.
100%. The game is meaningless.
So we're gonna let you practice, get your reps in with 11 on 11, with the 7 on 7.
Bad information. Once again, Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett did not participate in 11 on 11 events. They participated in 7 on 7s because they could stand there and throw the ball and walk side to side. It is a different injury than what Shedeur has. What Shedeur has done to himself is an oblique injury. That is your core. That is your sternum. That is your sides. So if it's on his left side and he throws with his right, when you stretching and turning to throw the ball, it hurt. See, but these two idiots are just saying words. If you're going to talk about it, talk about it. Don't just say random shit. Because now everybody hurt. Yes, but there are two different injuries. You can do things with a hamstring that you can't with an oblique. Obliques hurt when you throw the ball because that's your core. You barely got to walk to throw the ball. In a 7 on 7, you don't have to run left, right, side to side, back and forth. You can walk. And this is my point. When you're giving out information, especially when it's something of this size and magnitude that everybody's interested in, that people are going to talk about in their private chats, in their homes, in the spaces where they hang out at, group chats and discords and all that other crap. But they're getting their information wrong. And it does you no good.
Don't worry about Saturday. We got Shedeur to take the snaps. We just signed Snoop Huntley. Let those guys put their body on the line. Don't worry about it.
That 100%. That I don't know. And even NFL play, like so many people are so engaged in this and feel like they have ownership of it. I've never seen anything like it. Like the people, Louis Riddick on ESPN had to take back the whole idea that they were setting him up to fail. And I was surprised to just hear. I know he clarified and said, I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But that's what it sounded like, right? Like without saying it, this is like a setup job or whatever. And I cannot disagree more. I do believe teams want to win. If you're the Cleveland Browns, you don't want to win. You're the GM. You're the coach. You don't want to win, Rob G. You don't want job security.
And that's why they're going with Joe Flacco,
right?
Because we all know Joe Flacco's not the future.
He's not
for Kevin Stefanski. If
it's
I
about
want to
now,
win,
can I win games now?
I need Joe Flacco.
No one's going to say, "Oh, it's all right, Stefanski. Don't worry about it." You know, you only won 2 games this year and one the next year, and you're still going to be the coach when this thing turns around. No, he won't be the coach.
And I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think you've said this before. This is not some kind of indictment on Shadeur Sanders. This is the reality of the NFL, of any workplace for that matter. Joe Flacco is the starter, presumably, not because he is the future of the franchise, because they think long-term he's our guy. It's because Kevin Stefanski feels like he could be on the hot seat.
If he don't win games, they only won 3 games last year.
Who gives us the bet? Because you remember, he got them to the playoffs 2 years ago, and they still moved off of him. Why? Not because he wasn't the best quarterback at that time, but because they invested so much in Deshaun Watson, there was no way they could move off him. That's the reality of the NFL. You move down the list. Kenny Pickett. The reason why he's going to keep getting chance after chance with them is because they gave up a real asset to get it.
Right.
Last but-
Otherwise, if you're the GM, you got to start. What did you do that for?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
and-
You know what I mean? Like seriously.
Last but not least, and this is the one that I guess is the most controversial. Dylan Gabriel, by all accounts, if you according to the people who cover the team and around the team, all the beat writers around there, has been the worst quarterback of the bunch. He just has not been seeing the field very well. Just on Wednesday, he was 6 for 19 throwing the football. Okay. Because they invested a 3rd round pick in him and a 5th round pick in Shadeur Sanders, I guarantee you.
But do they not understand they have more invested in Shedeur than they do in Dylan Gabriel? They have more invested in Shedeur than they do in Kenny Pickett. They gave up a 5th round pick to get Kenny Pickett. They didn't give up anything to get Dylan Gabriel. They just drafted him in the 3rd round. They gave up 2 6th round picks to move up to get Shedeur. They gave up 2 picks. Is what they don't understand, or what they didn't care to find out. They gave up 2 draft picks to get Shedeur, and then they drafted him. So that makes 3. They only gave up 1 draft pick to get Dylan Gabriel. They only gave up 1 draft pick to get Kenny Pickett. They gave up a 5th round draft pick to get Kenny Pickett. They drafted Shedeur in the 5th round, but they gave up 2 draft picks to get Shedeur. But what people don't understand, it still matters who gives you the best chance to win. Yes, it looks suspicious right now, but we've had this talk in this chat. Us, the people, we've had this talk. We already knew that Shedeur wasn't going to move up after Friday's game. We already knew that, because in the preseason, they don't move depth charts no way. It makes no sense to move him right now. Next week is when the depth chart will be set, and then it will start to move. Setting a preseason depth chart means nothing, because they still haven't made their cuts. Now they're going to make some cuts after this game. It's going to be a few people that lose their job. It's going to be a few people that start looking for other camps to see if they can get in before people make their final cuts. And even the final 53 will not be the 53 that they end the season with. Football is an evolving door. It changes all the time. People come in, people go out. The Cleveland Browns know Joe Flacco is not the future. And they keep saying they won't keep 4 quarterbacks. Why not? They kept 4 last year. They had 4 quarterbacks on the roster last year, but 5 quarterbacks played last year. So why does everybody keep saying that? When this ain't even my squad and I know what they need. Dallas Cowboys suck. We just suck. Jerry Jones needs to get out the way. He holding us up. That's all I'm saying. He just killing us. You know. We don't need Steven to step in. Somebody do something. Get your daddy. Because we could have been won a Super Bowl. If it wasn't. But see, Dallas ain't even getting the play that Cleveland getting right now. And Jerry don't like that. Michael Parsons might not get no money until Jerry start getting his headlines back. Shit. Shedeur keep running away with all the headlines. Michael Parsons might not never get that check. We don't need y'all to calm down so my boy can get his money. because we need him. Even though he on his last year of his contract, but we need Michael Parsons to get that paper. You know what I'm saying? He need to be resigned real quick. $45 million, let go. But these two idiots, but Chris Broussard is going to come in and handle business.
They are going to go ahead and say, we're going to give Dylan opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and make him be the reason why we have to keep Shedeur. And unless that happens, you're not keeping 4 quarterbacks.
You're just not doing it. Right. And I'm with you. The 3rd round.
Hold on. Al, what is you talking about, man? How are you going to say Nepo baby when it comes to the Cowboys? I know you ain't talking about in that building. Hell, all them children related. You know how many people that are related to the Joneses up in that building? That's the way it's supposed to be. You can't be mad at that. But see, you finna get me on the tangent on these Cowboys.
Compared to the 5th round, it's so much easier to let Shedeur walk, right? Or let him go or whatever it is. Practice squad. I don't know. I'm
See, dumb. Y'all make sure this is why I watch this shit. I do this for y'all. So y'all don't have to fry y'all brain cells over stupid people. Because they don't know what they talking about at all. You think after they saw what they saw, they gonna let Shedeur walk out of that building and not sign him? Because soon as you try to get him on the practice squad, I bet you it's 25 teams sitting there salivating, say, yeah, let him go. We'll take him right now. We'll take him right now.
I'm convinced now even more. Now this injury puts him behind.
Yep.
You know, like this is not, he would have been better off getting to play Saturday and maybe we see a little bit different.
See, don't listen to this man. The injury don't put him behind. Shedeur got tape. That game is tape. And it's enough tape to carry the rest of the preseason if need be. Because I promise you, Dylan Gabriel ain't coming out throwing bullets on Saturday.
Right, with some other players in there and some other situations, but now he can't even do that. The time is ticking. 877-99 on Fox, talking about Shadeur Sanders, and Rob G and I are in lockstep with this. We're more convinced than ever he's not going to make the 53-man roster. You got to
see what I'm saying? They convinced he ain't going to make the 53-man roster. Why? What has he shown that says he won't make the 53-man roster? What has he done that says he won't make the roster? What have you seen out of the practice film, out of the one game that he's played, that says he is not good enough to make the team? Somebody tell me. Because I don't know. I ain't seen it. And if Shedeur plays bad, y'all know I'm going to say it anyway. If they play bad, we going to tell you, hey, man, that right there, that ain't going to get it. That wasn't too good, you know. That ain't going to happen. What Robert did, y'all? Robert, I know you the good Samaritan in there. I know you ain't in there acting up.
We got a lot of calls here, full bank as usual. We'll get started quickly. Mike is in Dallas. Mike, you're on the Arkable, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for taking the call. I'll make it quick.
Well, you have a different point of opinion.
No.
That's I'm a
Rob,
hater? It's just
Rob,
ridiculous.
You're a known hater, Rob. We know this.
No.
But let me get to the point real quick, and I'll make it real quick. So Shedeur, who was widely expected to be drafted higher than Dylan Gabriel, is now outperforming him in camp, and he's still going to get cut.
Yes, that's the
It makes
politics
no
of football.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks for the call.
Call back when he's
All right,
cut.
we got a new, looks like a first time, long time. We got Chris in New Jersey calling in the Arkable. Chris, you're on the
Wow.
Arkable Fox Sports Radio.
First of all, how in the world am I not the first caller?
Easy, you know why?
Went to Mike before me?
You know why? Wait a minute.
We're going to let Chris Broussard cook him.
let me tell you why. Because we have a warning for you, and we figured that this is the reason why. Here it is.
Except for one thing. You forgot to turn down the radio.
There you go.
You don't call enough radio.
Hold on. Zipper Jones. Appreciate the membership. New member is in the house. Zipper Jones is a new member of the YouTube gang. Welcome, Zipper. Now, back to Al. Al, before we get back to this mess on the TV. See, because Al to put us on the Cowboys. What Al is trying to say, it's negative when Prime did it, but Jerry got his kids all up in the video singing and dancing. Al, Jerry on the team. Nobody can tell Jerry what to do. And nepotism from that spot on down is expected. It's just about guaranteed. It is, if it don't happen, something is wrong. Because he owns the organization. You want your family to be in positions to know how to do everything you do. So of course, it has to be that way. That's their inheritance. They better be there. I wouldn't leave my father's side. And of course, Steven hasn't. He's been there every day. Daughters are in there. Everybody in there. It's a family business. But Zipper is a new member of the YouTube gang. Zipper Jones is in the building. Now back to the stupidity.
That's why.
Man, look, I just had a great day in New York City. I get in my car and I hear Rob hating on Shadeur Sanders. And sure, I think Kelvin or Rob G is going to put him in his place. And you co-sign it?
How are we hating?
I had to call it.
He's a 4-string quarterback. They're not carrying 4 quarterbacks. How are we hating?
You're right. He is going to make the team. Here's the deal. And even though obviously you didn't want him to get injured, the injury helps him. Assuming he can come back next week and, he'll be fine, he already put the good tape out there. Like the last time we saw him, he was very good. And if Dylan Gabriel goes out there against the Eagles, he's going to be facing a better team.
And if he plays better, then what? Okay, say he plays well against a better team in the Eagles.
Because he's been terrible. He was 6 for 19.
Okay, but I'm asking you in the game, if he plays well, Shedeur had his 130 yards. If he has 140 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks, then what's the conversation?
If he plays well, then they will probably keep. I think they'll trade Kenny Pickett. I think they're going to trade Kenny Pickett.
They're not going to keep 2 rookie quarterbacks to back up a guy who could get hurt.
If Gabriel plays well, but I doubt he will against the Eagles. He's been bad, as Rob G said, he's been bad in the training camp. And he's not going to, he's going to be facing game planning, which they really don't do in the first preseason game. So he's going in a tougher situation. He's probably going to look bad. And that'll probably move Shedeur ahead of him on the depth chart. So this actually helped Shedeur because he was so good in his only outing.
Well, it's funny because he didn't move up the depth chart after that so good. And you just even said that, but you just said it, Chris, that they don't even plan for the game 1. They're just out there playing. It's like pick up.
Listen, we've had this conversation. He had no reason to move the depth chart. No matter who does what, the depth chart is going to stay the same until cuts are done. But after that game, we see who got the most reps the next day in practice, right? We see who went before who in practice, right? See, you talking about the depth chart when the depth chart don't matter. Depth chart don't matter. Not right now. It's all about reps. Who getting what? Dylan Gabriel got reps today in practice. Sure he did. Got some reps. with the ones. Surely did. Dylan Gabriel stood out in practice today. Dylan Gabriel looked like a full-grown man today in practice with the reps that he got. Dylan Gabriel looked like he's always looked with the reps that he got today in practice. Today in practice, Joe Flacco went 7 for 10 with 2 touchdowns. And Dylan Gabriel went 1 for 5 with 1 touchdown and 1 interception that was not reported. Playing against them teams. See, now you ain't practicing against your own team. Now you're not practicing against somebody that might let you look good every now and then. The defensive coach might say, hey, let them catch this one, you know. But when you're playing against the Eagles, they don't like you. And they want to destroy every play you try to run. Yeah, see, that 1 for 5 don't look good. That 6 for 19 don't look good either. That 3 for 14 ain't looking good either. You know what I'm saying? That 6 for 12, all them bad numbers, and they keep coming up. See what I'm saying? We ain't got to talk bad about you. We just got to give you the facts. If Dylan Gabriel come out and ball out, let him ball out. We just saying, with the information that we have, what we've seen, and we've seen the tapes in practice, Dylan Gabriel don't look like he won't do too much. But I told y'all over and over and over again, like everybody else keep trying to tell y'all, Dylan Gabriel done did so much in college. He done came from so many different systems. Dylan Gabriel played 2 systems in college and they were the same. They mimicked each other. When he left UCS, he went to Oklahoma. The same offensive coordinator he had in UCF, he had in Oklahoma. Then he went to Oregon. And the same offense he had in Oklahoma, they had damn near the same offense in Oregon. Dylan had to put in no work in those offenses. Those offenses, he knew which side of the field or where he was going to go with the ball pre-snap. But they like to say he is a processor. He might be good on that whiteboard. But like I always tell y'all, you can be a genius on that whiteboard. But what you going to do when it comes to throwing that rock on that field? What you going to do when you got a 6'9" defensive end at 257 bearing down on your soul? What you gonna do? You seen how he looked that first day when Myles Garrett ran up on him? He froze then. So what you think gonna happen when a real defensive end is come charging? They're going to swoosh him like a little bug. We don't want him to get hurt. But is he ready for the moment? Unlike Shedeur was built for this. The moment will never be too big for him because he's had those moments all his life. The moment is not too big for 12. 12 is that boy. But what's going to happen when the spotlight is on Dylan Gabriel and you got them fans in the crowd screaming at you, you got them people on TV watching you, and that pressure is building. Coaches in your ear, why we ain't got this play in yet? What's the problem? What's the holdup? How many timeouts are we going to use Saturday? How many false starts are they going to get Saturday? How many delay of games are they going to get Saturday? See, these are the questions that's going to have to be asked. It's not only if you throw the ball well, but how do you look? Do you look like an NFL quarterback? Do you play like an NFL quarterback? Can you call plays? Can you do the same things that they said Shadeur Sanders couldn't do? But you, my friend, are going to have to do them 10 times better. This time the 10 times ain't on us. It's on them. This time Dillon Gabriel has to be better. Why? You ask me, does Dillon Gabriel have to be better than Shedeur? Because Shedeur is just a 5th round draft pick. Shedeur didn't get all the reps in practice. Shedeur didn't practice with the ones. But Dillon Gabriel practiced with the ones. Dillon Gabriel got more reps than any other quarterback on this roster. So when it's time to shine, when it's time to do your thing, when them lights are beaming down and you hear that announcer in that stadium and you hear them fans screaming and your coach is trying to call that play in their headphone, are you going to be able to focus and do your job? And when you hike that ball, because you're going to have to get under center, is the moment going to be too big? Will he be able to drop back and see over the line and not dump the ball off? Can you throw that pass through them tight windows? Because unlike Tennessee, Cam Ward going to be able to get away with throwing his bad passes because he going to do it often, which I warn my people up there in Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of interceptions this year, so y'all get ready because Cam is a gunslinger. He Brent Favre all over again. The question is, how long is he going to be able to get away with it? Because if you didn't watch him in Miami or you didn't watch him in Washington, you don't understand how Cam slang the ball around. He'll throw it with no give a damn across his body, can't see, about to get hit. He don't care. If he think he can make the throw, he gonna make the throw. And that's something you don't get with Shedeur. But see, I don't think a lot of these people watch the tape when it came to Cam, when it came to Shedeur. Yes, they were coached by the same quarterback coach. Darryl did a damn good job on both of these young men. But they are two completely different quarterbacks. By far. For these two quarterbacks to be coached by the same guy, they play completely different. Totally. Shedeur is more reserved. He's a pocket passer. He'll move when he got to. Cam's just all over the place. Cam will get out the pocket. Cam will throw a bad pass 4 out of 10 times. And he don't care. Shedeur won't throw the ball away most of the time, but in college, Shedeur couldn't throw the ball away. Shedeur was the offense in college. Colorado had no running game. Shedeur was the offense. Without Shedeur having the ball, they lose. And people don't understand that. And it seems like for all these NFL analysts and people that get paid a lot of money to do these jobs, I'm better than them. I'm just saying. You got to watch the tape. Jackson Dart is going to be a good quarterback. It's just going to take him a minute. All you got to do is watch the tape. It's all there. Let's go back and watch the Jackson State footage and watch Shedeur stand in that pocket and just beat people to sleep. It wasn't even funny. Now he's got some semblance of an offensive line. He gonna pick these people apart. And see, it don't matter the level. He don't have to have great receivers. I told y'all every time it don't fail. He don't have to have great receivers. He just have to have receivers that can get open. If you can get almost open, he'll throw you open the rest of the way. You drafted Shedeur, so you are going to have to get used to a quarterback that runs with a loose football. It is what it is. That's how he runs with the football. Palmed, wide open. But my question is, he did that for 4 years in college. How many times did he fumble? Don't worry about that. Quit trying to change him being a quarterback. Let him play. Yeah, he scrambled every now and then. So with some kind of crazy scramble, he might lose 15, 20 yards every now and then. But for the most part, that don't happen. Just watch the tape. But you get your information out of bits and pieces by listening to stupid people on the radio and dumbass YouTube videos instead of watching the tape. This is why Shadeur Sanders was underdrafted by a long shot. They said they didn't trust the information that they were getting from the Colorado coaches about Shedeur. Why? Because they all work for his father and they all might be fearing for their job, so they lying to us. So that information, we can't use that. Watch the tape. So you can verify that this is what they telling you. Go talk to him so you can verify that he is that guy. But they didn't do their job. They listened to the anonymous guy. And then all the owners put it in their head that we ain't gonna draft. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna stick to this. That man broke rank. Shedeur was supposed to be an undrafted free agent. The Cleveland Browns broke rank. They said the hell with that. That's a lot of money we leaving in this draft. They should have got Travis and came back and got Shedeur. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to go on that tangent. But everybody's wrong because they didn't watch the tape. If you watch the tape, you can see it's all there. Just go watch the highlights on YouTube. That'll give you even better semblance if you don't want to watch all them football games. Highlights are long as hell because he played a lot of football. So just go watch the highlights. And you can see him standing in that pocket, slanging that thing. That's all you got to do is watch the tape, man. It's right there for you. But they don't want to do it. We ain't going to even finish with Rob Parker because they just talking stupid. He just don't like Shedeur. And that's his problem. We going to let him suffer that fate. So when Shedeur end up on the 53-man roster and Shedeur balling out, you know, how many people you know that come in the stadium and get this? And that's in Philly. That is not Cleveland. That's Philly. It's them little kids going nuts. They love them some Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? They love them some Shedeur, dog. You bother them little kids about Shedeur and you might get tore up. But on first take, Chris Canty was thinking like I'm thinking. Somewhat, I had this thought. Being hurt and missing this game probably ain't such a bad thing.
Sanders is a 5th-round pick. He's trying to win a job. And in the NFL, a part of your job description is availability. So anything that can interrupt the progress that he's made in training camp is something that you should be concerned with. But I look at this a little bit differently. This could be objective is to sell the Cleveland Browns that you are their future at the quarterback position, especially considering that the Browns have 2 first-round draft picks in 2026. Maybe, just maybe, it might be in Shedeur's best interest with this potential injury, the fact that you're not going to see him out there against the Philadelphia Eagles on Saturday night. It tampers down unrealistic expectations that some people, and I say some, not all, have been putting on Shedeur while he's been considered or being in the mix for the QB1 job. When you look at the Cleveland Browns, starting the season as QB1 as a rookie might not be ideal. When you think about it, they're at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then they got a string of 5 straight playoff teams: Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not a soft place to land if you're Shadeur Sanders. So what I'll say is this: although it's never ideal to be dealing with an injury, the fact that the severity of the injury is not going to be expected to keep him out long term, and the fact that this does give everybody a chance to chill out with the expectations, I think it could be a good thing for Shedeur in the long run.
Yeah, and there goes Shedeur suited up today. He didn't work out. He didn't throw no passes, but he in the building. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. He suited up. And that's all you need to be. Y'all heard them kids cheering for Shedeur. Y'all heard that crowd in somebody else's area. Y'all saw them people in Charlotte with all them 12s on. All I'm saying is, let him work. Just wait on it. And I've said it a million times. Shadeur Sanders does not need to start. He needs to sit out a minimum of 3 games of this season. 3 is the minimum. Cam Ward is being set up to be booby-trapped by Tennessee, because they have no offensive line. They got 3 rookie receivers. What they gonna do? Ain't got but 1 receiver. Calvin Ridley is their number 1. Cleveland got 1 number 1, but they got about 2 number 2s or 3. You know what I'm saying? They got a few options, and then they got 2 tight ends that are true pass catchers. They got some options. But Cam over there in Tennessee, oh my God, it's gonna be rough. He ain't got nobody but Calvin Ridley for real. And then they drafted what's his face, no dude from Canada that had that good game against Travis that went to Stanford. Him. But other than that, Cam ain't got no receivers. Cam gonna be in trouble. All we know is it don't matter if Shedeur plays Saturday or not. It matters how Dillon Gabriel plays Saturday. That's the issue. Shedeur doesn't have to play. And I'd rather he not play and push himself to the limit if he don't feel like it. But of course, all football players are warriors. We feel no pain. Wait a minute. Oh, Miss KJ, why you let Cam tell them stories like that? Cam does not have a top 5 nothing in Tennessee. Their offensive line is worse than the Titans. Cleveland didn't win because they didn't have a quarterback. They at least stood a chance. But now they got options. Cleveland has a decent team. They need to do something about this offensive line, and they need to get more receivers. The defense is good. They just got to finish it up on the other side of the ball. Get you a couple of more safeties or a couple more cornerbacks, and you in the house. But for the most part, this team is decent. They just need to finish it up on the offensive side. And I don't know why they didn't do it in this draft. Because if your purpose was to draft a quarterback next year, then this year you should have been drafting offensive linemen. At least 2. But, it's all good. It is all good. It's almost 1:30. Your boy is finna get out of here. Y'all know how we get down. I appreciate everybody for coming. We don't have any super chats. We got Zipper Jones as a new member of the squad. And as always, we appreciate all of you for coming out, especially my CU aunties. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, y'all don't be hating because my CU aunties gonna always get that love. You don't see them in the chat. Y'all better go read my comment section on my video. Them CU aunties. Let me see what Webb say. We beat Cam about to go through it. Do you remember before the draft, Cam suggested that Shedeur, they start their own football league. Yeah, the NFL threw the fan in that shit. They don't have a real plan if they punting on the season before it starts. Well, they ain't punting on the season yet. They halfway punted on it. They punted on it before they saw Shedeur play in that game. Then they said, whoa, pump your brakes. That boy good. So they holding up on that. They want to see what's going to happen, what's going to transpire. And they'll get to find out. As we know, Shedeur is going to get to play during the regular season. That's going to happen, without a doubt. Jimmy Haslam even said that out of his own mouth. So, Miss Lee, CU aunties is in the building. And I love it. I love it. But it is what it is, man. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do and for sitting down with your boy and hanging with me and breaking bread with me, as always, as we do at the lunch table. It is what it is. Appreciate y'all for hanging out, having a good day. I'm going to get out of here because I got stuff to do. I got kids, and I got to take stuff up to the school. You know what I'm talking about? Before 2 o'clock. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. Love all of y'all. I'm out this mug. Peace.